Does your cat show behaviour problems, like peeing outside the tray or showing aggression to you or your other cats? Do they have any annoying habits, like keeping you up at night or scratching on the furniture? Well, these things can be easy to ignore right at the beginning, where it feels like it's not such a big deal and it's manageable, like you can keep on top of it. But I'm here today to tell you why you're not doing yourself or your cat any favours by ignoring the problem or burying your head in the sand. Although I get it, it's hard to resolve sometimes. But today I'm going to tell you why it's important to resolve these problems as quickly as possible and what can happen if you don't. From my years as a cat behaviourist, I can tell you in my experience that the longer you leave these problems, the more difficult it will be to resolve when you finally decide to crack it. And this is the case for any behaviour problems, be it urine marking or aggression or scratching the furniture. This is because cats are quick learners and they pick up habits very easily. So if you have a cat that's urine marking, this is often triggered by a stressful event in their environment. So it could be that you're having renovations done, it could be a new cat's moved into the area and is looking at them through the windows, or they're not getting along with the cat that they live with. So they begin urine marking to help them cope with the stress, and the longer you leave it, the more this becomes a habitual behaviour. So you might find that they're topping up old marks and it becomes part of their daily routine to go around and mark these places. So the longer we leave that, the more cemented that's going to be. And my heart sinks when I go to someone's house and they tell me their cat's been urine marking for 5 years, because I feel like I'm never going to be able to crack that. And is it fair for me to expect the cat to suddenly stop urine marking after they've been topping up the same marks day in, day out for 5 years? It's really difficult. That being said, it's never too late to call in help because we want to make sure your cat is as happy as possible. And even if we can't crack it completely, normally we can improve things to a manageable level. Also, with long-standing problems, they're very difficult to unpick because usually things have changed along the way and have complicated the problem. So, for example, if you have an aggressive cat, then what you might find is that at the beginning, it was misdirected play. So it's innocent aggression and that they're not trying to hurt you, but they are drawing blood and hurting your hands and feet because they're just too vigorous with their play. If you get cross at them, if you squirt them with water or shout at them to stop, then you might find the aggression changes into more defensive aggression because they're scared now that you're going to spray them with water or shout at them. So as a behaviourist, now we have to figure out that there is different motivation at the beginning, but it has also now changed from predatory aggression to defensive aggression, and it's very, very difficult to figure out where to focus your attention and how to stop the aggression from happening at all. So it will be much better for you overall to call in help as soon as possible, nip it in the bud, and avoid that really long-standing problem that's very, very difficult to overcome. On the other hand, showing these problem behaviours is often a sign that something's not quite right with your cat. So I know it's horrible to think about, but the first thing to check is that they're medically well. Because any behaviour problem you can think of, aggression, urine marking, peeing outside the tray, scratching furniture, overgrooming, nighttime vocalising, anything you can think of, can be either 100% caused by a medical issue or made much worse by a medical issue. So it's really important to be open with your vet, make sure that they know what the problem is and that they're happy to do thorough tests to make sure that your cat is physically well, because it's really not a great idea to address the behaviour without checking that your cat is physically well to begin with, because you might make it worse and your cat might need some treatment that we want to get underway. Hopefully they are physically well, but then we need to think about how they are doing mentally, because even cats that show aggression to other cats, even those cats that look the most horrible because they're constantly going to find another cat and terrorize them and annoy them, and they look like they're troublemakers, they're still experiencing some degree of stress. They still feel like they need to defend their territory. They feel like they can't properly relax because what are those other cats doing in the territory as well? So even the cats that are being the most difficult is often a sign that there is some stress involved there and some areas where we can improve their well-being and just give them a happier life. It's really important that we don't just put this down to a quirk in your cat's personality or something that's normal for them. Because what you might find is this is the only sign that your cat is not 100% okay. So it's really important that we root for them, we pick up on these signs, and we give them as happy a life as we can. Because you'll probably find if you focus on making your cat happy, then the behaviour will improve on its own alongside it. So what can we do? Well, there's one thing to remember. To be able to resolve your cat's behaviour problem, you must understand why they are showing that behaviour problem. That's my job. That's the job of every cat behaviourist in the world. Because there's no generic advice, there's no one size fits all. Every cat is different and is performing these behaviour problems for different reasons. Something has stressed them out, something is bothering them. So we need to figure out what that is. And it's really, really hard to do, especially with your own cat. So I would encourage you to go and find really good advice online to try to get into your cat's mind and see your environment from your cat's point of view. So do subscribe to my channel because I put out weekly videos to try to help you to do this. And there's a video at the end on cats fighting, if that's the behaviour problem that you have on your hands. But you can find help elsewhere too. So International Cat Care has a website that's full of information that's very reliable and very useful. So I'd encourage you to go down there too. And I'll link to some books in the comments if you're a reader and would like to find out more that way. If that doesn't work, then I would encourage you to bring in a cat behaviourist, because it's the job of a cat behaviourist to get to the bottom of the problem and really understand where your cat's coming from and why they're showing the behaviours that they are. So if you're in the UK, I would recommend the Animal Behaviour and Training Council, which I'll link to in the comments, because all their behaviourists are listed there. And I would make sure you find someone who's very experienced with cats and really knows their stuff in the area of cat behaviour. The behaviourist should be able to give you the information to resolve the problem and be there to support you with any setbacks and celebrate any wins going forward. So hopefully you should find that process really useful, and it will definitely be beneficial for your cat to have that input from somebody else. So please don't wait 5 more years before bringing in help for your cat. It will be much better for you to see someone sooner, much easier for me, and your cat will get help sooner. So good luck. I hope you can resolve your cat's problem, and I'm here to help where I can. Take care.